Welcome to the Sean Connery Horror Hour with your host, Sean Connery's impersonator.
Thank you. Tonight, our story is of a man and a monster. But the monster likes to tell poetry. Our story begins in the laboratory of a man named Bobenstein. He was searching for parts to bring back something that was very dear to him. Great poetry. He went to the graveyard to dig up the bones of literary greats. Those with deep characters and penetrating storylines and a plot that could not be unsaid. I am talking, of course, of Stephanie Myers. He took the remains back to his laboratory to finish his monstrosity. He ground the bones in a great mortar and pestle, adding sugar, spice, and everything nice with just a dash of chemical X. It was then that his creation was born. His creation rose with such a fright, screaming, "Roses are red." It was then that Bobenstein cried in joy, "Yes, they are. Yes, they are." Excuse me. Our story continues. Bobenstein's monstrosity lurched forward and said, "I must spread the good word of poetry to everyone." And he wandered away. But wait! I have a sonnet I think you'd like to hear. I've been yours since the night you rescued me. Till then, I was the ruler of my heart. To break my firmest oath, how could it be? Passion fights, will to play the traitor's part. It was then that the Romanian citizens of Bucharest stormed the coffee shop saying, "That's not a sonnet. That's not even poetry. You're not welcome here." It was then that Bobenstein's creation wandered away in fear, composing all the way, "Seashells, seashells by the seashore." Bobenstein knew then that he had created a monster. It seems Stephanie Myers was not the best choice. Bobenstein went back to his edifice to gather all he'd need to stop his monstrosity. And they are as follows. A lasso, a fishnet, a samurai sword, a crossbow, a shaman, a ShamWow, a smoked sausage, some silly string, some shoes, a cardboard box, a stick, a string, and a trap. But unfortunately, he lost those on the last outing, so he didn't bring anything. He journeyed to find his creation. He went to Spain, his backyard, Italy, his attic, but it was in France, where he had found what he was searching for. Bonjour, monsieur et madame. Il est 8 heures. Bienvenue à l'amphithéâtre de Chèvre-Lion. Je voudrais présenter la première personne. C'est la création de Bobenstein. Bobenstein didn't understand either. All he knew was that he had found what he was looking for. I had made an enemy of my gaze, forsworn those who it looked with favor upon, as those that rule the night must shun the days, and waking find the summer silently gone. The French knew crap when they saw it, so they began to boo him off the stage. It was then that Bobenstein had the opportunity to finish what he had started. It was then that their grand Eurasian chase began, through the Himalayas, all the way through Russia till they reached the tip of Serbia. They made sure to pick up a superabundance of souvenirs along the way. Bobenstein grabbed a speedboat. His creation, an iceberg. Bobenstein began to catch him. All his creation could say was, "Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream." Any last words, monster? Might I read you a sonnet? All I've ever fought for, all I've won, seem like worthless beasts best left to the past. And lacking you, I find what I have done is built a summer house not meant to last. Bobenstein reached into the ocean and grabbed a salmon and held it high above his head. His creation's last words were, "Take care when through your fingers fall the sands. It will always be my heart in your hands." And he croaks. All of a sudden, he sees a man in the distance. It seems he's floating on a door. No, it couldn't be, but yes, it's Leonardo DiCaprio, and he's armed. He thrusts forth his sword into Bobenstein, where he meets his demise.
This has been the Sean Connery Horror Hour with your host, Sean Connery's impersonator. We'll see you next week. Wasn't that